I know how stressful it can be to be constantly searching for a piece of information that will finally give you that final aha moment, that finally I get it and there is no ego anymore. Finally I get it and I know that there is no self. So therefore I'm making this video because I know how this feels. To be constantly in the search, having an ego is a big disadvantage, because it creates the feeling of being separate, having anxiety, being lonely. It is just unnatural, and therefore out of this fear, it also creates fear. Out of this ego fear, it creates coping mechanisms that don't really work. For example, religion, something, a deity to hold on to, and to blame if it doesn't help you. So, dissolving the ego, how does it actually work? If you are practicing something to get rid of the ego, then that doesn't really work, because the one who's investing energy in a practice that happens in time is the ego that's trying to get rid of the ego. So by trying to get rid of the ego with the ego, you strengthen the ego. So you can only become aware of your thoughts. So there is a pure impersonal awareness that is always witnessing, because it's in its nature to witness. And that pure awareness can recognize thoughts. And then a thought says, I want this, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm happy. And once there is a recognition of consciousness that sees that this thought isn't really a real me, it is just a thought. It isn't a center, it isn't an ego. Then what happens is that it is recognized that there was never an ego. So you don't have to kill the ego, just have to recognize that it was never alive. So in this recognition, you can see that nobody has a self. There is only one intelligence that is in charge of everything. And this feeling of being a separate decider is an illusion. So even the feeling that you could decide still is a feeling and a reaction that is arising out of nowhere because of karma. It is just action and reaction, happenings and happenings. But nobody is outside of life that has control over life. So just awareness and happenings. And you can investigate it for yourself, because simply believing it doesn't work. Agreeing with me doesn't work. Disagreeing with me also doesn't work. What you can do is you can simply relax. Do not suppress feelings or emotions or thoughts. Just be and wait until thoughts happen. And thoughts will happen. And as you are relaxing, you will see that thoughts will still happen. You cannot just will your thoughts away. So there is a thought appearing out of nowhere, just like a wave appearing out of the ocean. It's not a self behind the thought that is thinking the thought. Believing that there is a thinker behind the thought is the ego. Believing that there is a feeler behind the feeling is the ego, is the thing that can simply disappear because it is seen as an illusion. So it takes really 1 second or even less to find it out for yourself. Be as you are, relax. There is simply impersonal awareness that is aware of impersonal thoughts that are caused by past conditioning, which were also impersonal happenings. And that's it. That's really it is that simple.